In my previous video, I talked about giving gifts as a minimalist. In this video, we're going to talk about receiving gifts as a minimalist mom, person, and how I deal with it this season, this holiday season. Santa has left us, and this little nutcracker is going to be assisting me. I think he looks weird, but my son likes it, so he's staying for now. I actually discovered there is a lot to say about the topic of receiving gifts in general. So if you've tried really hard to declutter things, objects in your life, and it's the holiday season, and in your culture or your family culture or country culture, religious culture, it is customary to receive and give gifts during the holidays. You might be a little bit perplexed about how to go about receiving gifts in general. And so I'm going to break it down for you the way that me, my husband, and our son do it. I think there's really three things I want to talk about. The first one is the scenario of receiving gifts from people who know you well. That's one scenario. Another scenario is receiving gifts from people who don't know you so well. It's a bit different. And the third thing I want to talk about, which is not necessarily about gifts, but it's about things that is very common in the UK and in the US, which is doing Secret Santa, elephant gift exchange, Christmas parties, company Christmas parties, all these parties going on during the holidays. So let me explain how I go about this. And I apologize for the crazy hair. That's just the way it is for now. So scenario one, dealing with receiving gifts and people who know you very well. Now, my husband knows me very well. My parents know me very well. My in-laws know me very well. And some other family members and some very good friends know me very well. And they know that my husband and I, being adults, we don't want to receive gifts for Christmas. So it's very clear. And we make a request every year, a few years prior to Christmas. We say, please, no gifts for us. When, you might be arranging to meet family members, friends, you can reiterate, I'd love to see you. I'd love to hang out and celebrate, but please no gifts for me or my husband. For our son, it's different, okay? Because he's 9 years old and he wants gifts. And he's a little kid, and he should be getting some gifts because it's fun. It's the magic of the holidays and the giving season. So for him, my husband and I, we are giving him some gifts within limits. There's a budget. We know what he wants and we know what he needs. So we are the advocates for him. For the rest of the family who may want to give him some gifts. But usually we ask to limit it to one extra gift. I don't want to receive, 5 gifts per family member. That would be way too much. We're trying to move away from clutter and excess and overconsumption and be grateful for having more than enough. So my in-laws and my parents, they know that if they give my son a gift, it's just going to be one gift, not 20. And I would send a message with a link to a specific type of gift toy experience that I know my son would really, really like. And if it's a big thing, like maybe a bike or some baseball equipment, I don't know, anything that he might be into that's kind of big, I would say, please to the family members to do it as a group, to just buy this one big gift as a group, as opposed to one individual buying a gift. So I make a clear request. We make a clear request that my husband and I don't want any gifts. And for our son, we say this is what he is really into this year. He would really love that. And hopefully our request has been met. We'll talk about when it's not met a little bit later. So these are the people who know me well. Some of my colleagues know me very well as well. But anybody who knows you really well, I feel comfortable and confident to make a request, because I want them to know me even better, to know my preferences, to know my family's preferences, to know our lifestyle, our values. It is important to be known, and it is important to me to be authentic in expressing my wishes, so that's the way we do it. So a second situation is when you receive gifts from people you don't know very well. And it could be colleagues, it could be the company you work for, it could be some acquaintances, it could be some friends you've met and you enjoy each other's company, but they don't know you very deeply. And in this case, it's kind of like you receive a gift by surprise, like, oh, I was not expecting this. And in this case, I will accept the gift, and I would say, thank you very much for thinking of me. And I will accept the gift. And I will make sure that the next year, ahead of time, I will let them know, by the way, the adults in the family do not wish to receive any gifts. For my son, it would be different, once again, because he's little. But I will make sure that they know me a little bit better if they're still in my life in a year from now. So these are the two scenarios. The third scenario is Secret Santa, elephant gift exchange, which, by the way, I did not know it existed before I moved to the UK and then to the US a few years ago. And company Christmas parties, those you find in Europe as well. I choose, that's my personal choice, to not participate in Secret Santa, gift exchange, elephant gift exchange, any of those things. So I don't come with a gift at those parties because I don't want any gift either. And I say, thank you very much, but I wish to not participate. Now, some people might be curious and they might ask you why. And you can say, well, I'm more of a minimalist and I do not want to have more objects in my life. I am content with what I have, but I do want to spend time with you. And I do go to my Christmas company Christmas party because I do want to hang out with my colleagues and have a good time. I want to enjoy the party. I want to enjoy the food, the camaraderie, the good times, the laughter, the silly games. All of this is beautiful, and I want to be part of it. But I just don't want. I don't want to receive the stuff. That's it. Also, during the holiday, especially since I moved to the US almost 15 years ago, there are a lot of Christmas parties. So lots of Christmas parties. So I've decided to take a bit of a step back on all of those. And it's not because there is a Christmas party that I'm going to attend all of them. So I've narrowed it down this year to 3 different kind of celebration. The first one is me, my husband, and my son will have a low-key Christmas Eve, just the 3 of us at home, and we wake up the next day, exchange, like my son will receive gifts from Santa, and it's going to be low-key. So that's our first celebration where we'll have some good food in the evening and we'll spend time together. We will attend the extended family Christmas celebration, which will require us to drive 2.5 hours to attend. But we will be there because we do want to spend time with family members whom we haven't seen in a long time because they live in different states. The US is a very big country, and so when you have family members who are flying from the East Coast, from Washington and other places to meet in California, will be in Los Angeles at that big Christmas party. We want to be there and say thank you for making your way to come and see all of us. So I want to participate in this. The third party, Christmas party that I've already attended is my company's Christmas party. And it was a fun time. And it's fun to hang out with the colleagues outside of work once in a while. But there were other Christmas parties that I was invited to, or that I'm still invited to, and I've decided not to go. My husband's Christmas party, company Christmas party, I won't be going. It's just too much. And my company had another Christmas party for a smaller department that I was invited to, and I decided not to go because same thing, it's just too much. And I love food, I love the drinking, I love all the company, but I am also, more of a minimalist. I don't want to overconsume. I want to have a good time, but I want to create some kind of balance for me. And I'm also a bit of an introvert. So going to party after party and doing all this driving and all this noise can be a little bit too much. So I want to be a little bit more low-key and say no to what is a little bit too much for me. It's about balance. So these are the three situations about receiving gifts. Now, what happens when you as an adult have made a clear request to not receive gifts during the holidays, and people who know you well give you a gift, and turns out you don't like it too much? No, I'm gonna rewind. Let me rewind because there's other things I want to talk about. Okay, the people who know you really well, you tell them you don't want any gifts, and they say, but I really want to give you a gift. It's Christmas, it's Hanukkah, it's Kwanzaa, it's whatever you're celebrating. I really want to give you a gift. What do? You say, well, okay, I don't want to get a gift because I am a bit of a minimalist. I'm trying to have fewer objects in my life to live more simply. You can explain that. It's okay to explain it, and you should explain it because people may not get it otherwise. And you want to be known. People want to be known. Human beings want to be known deeply for who you are, your likes and your dislikes. So it's important to me to be authentic and express my wish again. And they really insist, I really want to give you a gift. It's really important to me. I love giving gifts. Well, if it pleases you to give me a gift, here are my preferences. And you can explain what it is that you'd rather have. Your preferences. People just have the habit of going to the store and buy a brand new gift. That's just very ingrained in the American culture. It's actually very ingrained where I'm from. I'm from France, and it was very much like that over there as well. You go to the store and you buy gifts, okay? But you can say what it is you really want. Maybe it's something that's more of a consumable. You can ask for some food. Say, hey, I love these kinds of chocolates, I love these kinds of alcohol. Or I love the cookies you bake. Can I please have a batch of cookies? I'd rather have that than an object. Maybe you like handmade candles, or I don't know, sourdough bread. You can ask for the sourdough starter of the person who really wants to give you a gift. Maybe they make jam, and you're like, I'd love to have a batch of your jams. It's so delicious. It does not need to be something brand new brought from the store. You can make it clear that you would welcome, if you wish, a secondhand object from their home. Maybe you say, hey, maybe there is something in your home that you already have that you think I would really enjoy. And like you shop your own house, or you make something for me and my family, or you invite us out for dinner, or we go on a picnic or a hike together, and maybe you are in charge of the picnic because you can express you'd rather have an experience than an object. And it can also be something completely different. Like one year, I asked for donations to my favorite charity. And I've also asked one year for my family members to donate blood instead of donating or giving a gift. And there's a very personal reason for that. So one year I did that. And something else that might be even more valuable that I thought about today actually is when you are in a family and you know there is some dissonance, there is some discord and disagreements, even some arguments between family members, you can ask each of these family members for them maybe to give the other family member a call or send a message to say something like, hey, I know we disagree on this, but I'm thinking about you and I wish you well. And I hope you well. Now, what kind of a gift would this be? Can you imagine if everybody were to do that instead of giving gifts? I'm sure that putting aside differences during the holidays and expressing at the very least that you're thinking of the other person, that would be huge. So we can think outside of the box or out the box, however you say. And it's not about objects. It's about connections. It's about harmony. It's about enjoying life together. And it's about putting our differences aside to realize what's really connecting us. That at the end of the day, we do wish to be seen, heard, loved, cared for, respected. And I can't think of a greater gift myself. So if you want to drop a hint to your family members to put their guards down, their weapons down, and just to say to the other one, I'm thinking of you and I hope that you're well. That's huge. All right. I think I'm forgetting something because that was pretty deep, and that brought me to some of my family situation where I have two of my family members who are really not getting along. And I was thinking it would be the greatest gift that they just say, hey, I'm thinking of you. So, and I wish you well. I wish you well. All right, so let's talk about you've expressed your wishes to not get a gift, or you've said, hey, if you really want to give me a gift, this is what I really want. This is what I would prefer. And still you receive a gift, or you receive something that is not really what you want. You can say, once you get the gift, thank you very much for thinking of me. That's receiving the gift. The gift is not the object. The gift is this person thought of me and gave me something. So the right answer that comes from the heart, that comes from the gut is thank you very much for thinking of me. You've accepted the gift. Now, the object itself, you may not want. And there's two scenarios. If the object comes from somebody who knows you really well, you've made the request, you made it clear, and they give you something that you're not going to use, you know that for a fact, then I have no problem saying, thank you very much for thinking of me, but I will not be using this, so I'm giving it back to you. I can be honest like that. I have no problem being authentic because what I don't want to happen is to accept a gift that I know I am never going to use, neither me nor any of my family members. So it has happened to me. Actually, from my in-laws one year, I had mentioned, please don't give me a gift. I don't want any. I received one. And one year, I was actually pretty glad to receive this gift because it was a very nice bathrobe that was a big upgrade to the one that I had. So I was actually super happily surprised, and it was spot on, and I loved it, and I actually kept it, and I thanked them, and it was great. But the year after, I received a gift once again, and I didn't want any. And this time I received a fluffy fleece blanket. Beautiful, beautiful blanket. But I had just decluttered a bunch of blankets. And I knew for a fact I had just the right amount of blankets for me and my family, for all the emergencies possible. I had what I needed, and I'd worked really hard to let go of the excess. And I knew that this new gift blanket would not be used. And so I said, thank you very much. Well, I hope I said that because I don't remember exactly, but I said, thank you very much for thinking of me. I will not be using this blanket. You can return it to the store or give it to somebody else who will really enjoy it. You might be shocked in your seat that I would dare to not accept the gift. And that's because I want people to know me. The people I care about, the people who are in my life for the long run, for years and years to come, I want them to know me. And I don't want them to keep on buying me things that I have no use for or that is not in line with my values. And I don't want to lie. I just don't want to lie. I don't want to pretend that I'm liking something or that I will be using something that I will not be using. Like being transparent like that is so important to me. So that's what I did. And actually my husband, it was my birthday recently, and my husband gifted me a robe again that is from a brand I really like called Pendleton. And it's beautiful, beautiful robe. And I was like, wow, I definitely did not expect it. And I tried it on, and it was a bit too big, even though it was a small size. It was a bit too big. It was a bit heavy, but I was like, oh, part of me really wanted to like this gift because it's Pendleton and it's from my husband. I really wanted to like this gift, but I knew that I would not be wearing it because I had a better option. The robe that I had from my in-laws was totally fine and more comfortable and lighter, and it worked better for me. So I said, thank you very much, but can you pull up? I will not be using it, even though it's beautiful. I really appreciate it. I will not be using it. And I asked, can you please return it or give it to somebody else? And he was like, I can't return it. You can do whatever you want with it. And so I have this robe in my closet, and it's brand new. It's got a tag on still. I am not going to use it. and I'm going to need to find a way to declutter it because it's become clutter. So I've really enjoyed the gift and the thought from my husband, but not the object. And an object being unused is no joy to me as a receiver or to the person who's given it to you. Um, so I have no problem in either selling it or giving it to a local thrift store or to a friend of mine who would really enjoy this object much more than I would. I think I've covered everything. If I have forgotten anything, please let me know. I hope this video is helpful to you, and you might disagree on some of these points, and that's totally fine. At the end of the day, you do you, I do me, and there could be things we learn from each other in this process of living more lightly on the earth and simplifying our lives, decluttering what is not really serving us, whether it's an object or a habit or an emotion or a mental process. And also just focusing on what is really important. And for me, it's gathering with people, it's having a good time, it's being present and enjoying the holidays, and it's the food. I love the food as well. And so enjoy yourself, have a wonderful time, and many blessings to you and to your loved ones.